Before we head into the video, I'd love to give a shout out to the sponsor of the channel, RL Exchange. Now, RL Exchange is a great way to buy Rocket League items and credits on any platform at the cheapest prices so that you can build your dream setup. Make sure to go and check out their website using the top link in the description and use code TXC to get yourself 3% off your order. I'm giving away a White Octane every 1,000 subscribers on the channel. All you have to do to enter is drop a like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and then finally head over to the Discord using the link in the description down below. Head over to the giveaways channel and then finally enter the giveaway. That's all you have to do, and good luck to everyone that enters. How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be doing a massive trading guide going all the way from beginner to professional level so that you can grow your inventory. And I'm going to be starting off with how you actually enable trading on your account, and then after that I'll go through different methods that will allow you to get a lot of profit, and also different apps and websites that you can use to maximize your profit. This guide is made for every single Rocket League trader, so please do watch to the end if you're looking to get the best Rocket League tips. But anyway, let's get straight in to the guide. So first of all, there are a few things that you need to do to actually enable trading on your account. The first step is you want to enable 2FA. To do this, just go over to the Epic Games website, log in with your Rocket League account, and go to security. From there, you just enable 2FA. If you do struggle with this, then please do search up a YouTube tutorial, because at first I did struggle with this and it took me a couple days to figure out, but after that I was good to go. This next step only applies to people that join the game after it went free to play. If you originally bought the game, then you won't need to do this stage, but anyone that joined after September 23rd, 2020 will need to buy 500 Rocket League credits from the item shop. This cannot be done via my sponsor. You have to spend a little bit of money on the game if you haven't already to actually enable trading. If you don't have a credit card or anything you can link to your platform to actually buy the credits, then you can buy a gift card and redeem that and then go and buy the credits. It is a little bit of an annoying step. Like I mentioned, this is only applicable to people that actually got the game after free to play. The last step is just to enable trading in your settings. Sometimes this can untoggle automatically. It is a little bit annoying, but every so often just make sure to go into your settings and make sure that player to player trading is actually turned on. Without this, you won't be able to trade. It's the easiest step, but it can sometimes get a little bit annoying. But let's talk about how you can actually go about making yourself profit. This is the beginner stage, so you'll probably have around 0 to 500 credits in your inventory, a few random items laying about as well. Most of them are probably going to be limited, and you're not really going to have anything worth too much. This is basically the exact position I find myself in when I'm starting a nothing to something, and there is one main method that I always use to get myself up to 500 or 1000 credits before I start using different methods, and this is something that I call the non-crate method, where I basically buy and sell non-crate items. If you're wondering what a non-crate item is, it is an item that does not belong to a crate series. You can obtain these items through drops, so for example, uncommon, rare, very rare, and import drops will always give you non-crate items. These items can be traded up to the next rarity if you have 5 of them, so 5 non-crate uncommons will trade up to 1 non-crate rare, 5 non-crate rares trade up to 1 non-crate very rare, and so on until you reach black market. And these non-crate items have a value. Now, these prices will vary across different platforms, so for example, prices are different on PlayStation and Xbox, but on all platforms these non-crate items have a value, and they're usually around 20, 30, 40 credits, with the most expensive platform being Xbox, where non-crate very rares currently sell for around 30 credits. That is around the same on Switch, and then PC and PlayStation, they're roughly selling for around 20 credits. I find I can usually get the most profit out of non-crate very rare, so that is usually the only non-crate item I'm trading with. And to start off my trading journey, what I usually do is play a couple of matches, complete a few challenges, get a rare drop, and then hope I either get a non-crate very rare or non-crate import out of that drop. I'll then go on to sell that item for around 20 to 30 credits. After I've got my credits, I'll then list up a post searching for more of these items, and I'll be paying around 10-20 credits for each one of these non-crate very rares. Once I buy them, I then go on to sell them for around 10 or 20 credits more each time. You won't get a lot of profit every time you're doing this because you only have a small inventory, but over time it will build up and you'll eventually have enough credits to move on to some other methods. One thing that I do want to mention, and this also applies to every single level of trading, there are a few websites and apps that are really useful for both buying and selling items. You're able to find a lot of people to trade with, and this is what allows me to make my profit. First of all, to check prices, you're going to want to use RL Insider. You can search this up on any search engine, and it's just what everyone uses to check the Rocket League prices. Just make sure you're looking at the right platform, but apart from that, you should be good to go. There's one website and it's also an app. It's called RL Garage. You can download it on mobile. Just search it up if you have a PC, and you can make a post on there searching for particular items that you're looking for. So for example, the method that I was just talking about, buying and selling non-crate very rares, just make a post showing that you're looking for non-crate very rares and you're paying around 20 to 30 credits for every single one. It is also a good idea to put in the description a little bit more information. For example, if you're willing to repeat this trade, as in you can buy more non-crate very rares than just one, or information such as your gamer tag on Rocket League, so the person that sees your post and they're interested can actually contact you. There is another app called RL Trading Post. Again, it's the same sort of thing as RL Garage, where you can buy and sell items, but it's really good to use more than just one platform to actually try and find trades, just so that you can maximize the amount of people that actually see your post, and therefore you should be getting more trades than if you just use one trading platform. But if you have a really small inventory, then I would highly suggest this non-crate method, just to build up your inventory a little bit more, get more comfortable with trading. But after that, you will be able to move on to the more medium level of trading. Technically, you could go on to this if you have around 200 or 300 credits, but the more credits you have, the easier it will be, because you're going to be trading with more expensive items and flipping them to make profit. But now we're going to be taking a bit of a step up. You're going to be more experienced than the beginner traders, and we're going to be making a lot more profit in this stage. You will probably need an inventory of at least 200 or 300 credits to move into this stage, but you're going to be making, like I mentioned, a ton more profit, and hopefully you should be getting at least 500 credits profit a day with this method. I still use this method and I've got a massive inventory. It's really effective, and sometimes I can see myself making upwards of even 5,000 credits every single day. Now basically we're going to be looking at flipping high demand items, so that means items that loads of people are looking for. This just means that if you do manage to pick up one of the items I'm about to suggest, it's going to be extremely easy to sell, just because there are a huge amount of people that are looking for them. Over time you will learn for yourself which items have a higher demand, but I'm just going to quickly run over a few of the items which have an extremely high demand. So for example, painted Octanes, painted Fenix, painted Standards, painted Zombas, painted Dracos, black OEM and black Stern. Those are just a collection of items that I'm always buying and selling on my Nothing to Something videos, and I'm always making a ton of profit with them. Of course, there will be other items that have a high demand and can make you a ton of profit. Again, like I mentioned, the more you trade, the more you will understand what these items are, but those are just a collection of items that I always buy and sell, and I found that they can be very, very effective in trading. Also, I still don't know everything about trading. There is still stuff that I am learning today, but I've been trading for years, so trust me, you can take my word on this. What you're going to be aiming to do is buy these high demand items for around 100 or 200 credits below their minimum value on the RL Insider spreadsheet. RL Insider is basically a website that everyone on Rocket League uses to check the prices for their items. I also mentioned this in the beginner stage, but just make sure you are using RL Insider. Just search it up on Google, Safari, any search engine, you will find it, and just make sure to select the right platform so that you are looking at the right prices. Also, going back to what I mentioned earlier about using both RL Garage and RL Trading Post, it is a really good idea to just list up a bunch of trades searching for all of these items and also offering 100 credits below their minimum value. For example, I'll put it up on the screen right now, all of the posts that I've got up on RL Garage. I don't really use RL Trading Post for this method. I found that RL Garage is certainly better to do this with, but just make sure to list up a bunch of posts. Refresh them as well as often as possible, just so that more people do see them, and therefore it should translate to more trades. I do also use the Xbox Looking for Group community section to do this method with. Basically, I'll list up a post saying have 10,000 credits, or you can exchange obviously this credit amount for any amount of credits that you do have. So for example, have 1,000 credits, one offers, it doesn't matter at all. But what I do is I say have 10,000 credits, one offers, and then I also ask people to message their offer on my post so that I don't have to waste time messaging every single person that is interested what their offer actually is. If anybody does get interested on my post with an item I'm looking for, so for example some of the items that I mentioned earlier, painted Octanes, painted Fenix, painted Standards, painted Zombas, painted Dracos, black OEM, black Stern, they're also really good for making profit. I'll message the people with those items, and my first offer will be a pretty big lowball, and then I'll slowly work it up towards the minimum value. I won't ever really do more than 100 credits below the minimum value for an item, because I want to make sure that I'm still making a decent amount of profit when I do flip the item. But I found that this method really works for me, and hopefully it will work for you if you're also looking to replicate this. I have also noticed that it is a little bit harder to trade on platforms such as PC and also PlayStation. If you are on any of these platforms, it is sometimes a good idea to underpay by 50 credits as well. I won't really do this on Xbox. Like I mentioned, I'm always looking to underpay by at least 100 credits, but credits are worth a lot more on both PC and also PlayStation. So it is perfectly acceptable if you do only underpay by 50 credits, because a lot of items are also cheaper. So again, it is also harder to underpay on those platforms. But I think that is pretty much everything covered for the medium trading level. Basically, you're just going to be buying and selling high demand items, making around 100 to 200 credits profit every time. Again, it's not going to be a ton of profit every trade, but over time it will add up, and this is actually the method that I mainly used in my Nothing to Alpha Cap series, and I actually managed to finish it and get my Alpha Cap. So you can trust that these methods do work. Let me know how this method goes for you if you are going to be trying it. But anyway, we are going to be moving on to the final level of trading. This is going to be for more experienced traders, and you're going to want to have a pretty big inventory of around at least a couple thousand credits, just because the items that you're going to be buying and selling are worth quite a bit more. So you want your inventory to actually be big enough to withstand this level of trading. Basically, this is going to be pretty much the opposite of what the medium level of trading actually is. We're going to be looking to buy low demand items for way below their minimum value. So whereas the medium level was buying high demand items for around 100 or 200 credits below the minimum value, you're going to be buying items with no demand, so items that not many people are looking for around 500, 1000 credits below their minimum value. Obviously more if possible. The more you underpay, the more profit you'll be making, but usually people don't quick sell their items too below their minimum value. But I usually am able to pick these sort of items up for around 500 credits below their minimum value and flip them for around their minimum value. The low demand will mean that it's going to be pretty hard to sell, and it probably will take quite a lot of time to sell, but you're going to be getting more profit per item, so overall it should add up to more profit in general. Now, I'm not going to be able to run through every low demand item in the game because there are so many, but recently I've been picking up painted dices, painted tunicas and painted sunbursts. I found that these are really good for profit, and especially in one of my recent videos I managed to pick up a black exotic sunburst for 4,500 credits, and then the next day I sold it on for 6,000 credits, so 1.5k profit from one single item. Now, I'm not going to lie, I did get a bit lucky because I wasn't really expecting someone to quick sell it for that much below its minimum value, and then I also wasn't expecting someone to pay its minimum value, and I only had to wait one day, so I did get pretty lucky. But you should find that if you are constantly trading and you're pretty active with it, you should get lucky as well. It happens to everyone. Just the more you trade, the higher chance you have of getting lucky. There are also some other low demand items that you can buy. For example, maybe painted 20xx's or just painted black markets in general. People really struggle to sell painted Interstellars. I'm always buying painted Interstellars. I'm not able to underpay as much as 500 credits for each one, but I can usually pick them up for around 200 to 300 credits below their minimum value for each one, and then eventually sell it on for its minimum value, making myself a really good amount of profit. Again, I don't really have time to sit through and tell you every item that you should be buying and selling. The more you trade, the more you will understand. But if you're in this section already, then you should be a pretty experienced trader and therefore have a decent knowledge of items that you want to be buying and selling. But I would highly recommend dices. They've been really, really good for me recently. I've been buying them for, I'd say, an average of 700 credits below their minimum value. Sometimes they do take a couple days or maybe even a week to sell on, but because my inventory is so big, I don't really need to sell it straight away. It can just sit in my inventory. I'm pretty confident that it won't go down, and in the meantime I can just keep on trading with other items while I've got that dicey sitting in my inventory. Also, if you are doing this method, I would suggest just making a post on maybe RL Garage or RL Trading Post selling the item. You can refresh this post all the time, but just make sure you've always got a post up trying to sell the item, otherwise it's just going to be stuck in your inventory and you'll never get rid of it. There's not really much guidance I can actually give for this stage because a lot of you should already know what you're doing, and I've explained a lot of it already in the easy and medium level of trading. Also, I'm not too experienced with this level either. I don't really like to buy low demand items because it is a bit of a risk. You don't really know if you're ever actually going to be able to sell the item. I stick to more generic items such as the painted dices, which I mentioned earlier. A lot of other people buy and sell painted RLCS items. I just tend to stay away from those because they never seem to work out for me. The same with investments. I don't really really do those. But the best thing to do is just test out different items, see how much profit they make you, and just repeat the methods that get you the most profit. But anyway, that is going to bring us to the end of the trading guide. I really hope you have enjoyed. If you have any questions about any part of this guide, drop it down below and I will be happy to respond to you. Also, let me know how much your inventory is worth, how your trading journey is going. Hopefully you're making a lot of profit. But anyway, that is going to wrap it up from me. I will bring out another Nothing to Something series very, very soon, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.
Me.